Namaste, and welcome to our journey through the intriguing realms of the Indian judiciary system. Today, we'll peel back the layers of history to uncover the roots that have shaped this cornerstone of democracy. From its British colonial influences to its modern-day manifestations, we'll explore how this system stands unique in its own right. If you find this journey as fascinating as we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with others who might enjoy it. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the history of the Indian judiciary system. Our story begins during the British colonial rule, a time that greatly influenced the formation of our judicial system. The British Empire's legal system, known as the common law system, was the foundation upon which the Indian judiciary was built. The common law system, with its emphasis on case law and judicial precedents, was a departure from Indian traditions, introducing a new legal framework that continues to shape our judicial proceedings today. One key element that the British introduced was the jury system. This was a significant shift, as it represented a move towards a more democratic process, with citizens participating directly in the administration of justice. However, it's important to note that the jury system, whilst introduced during the colonial rule, was gradually abolished in the 20th century. The reasons for this are varied and complex, but it's a fascinating aspect of our judicial history that reflects the changing dynamics of our society. The colonial period also saw the establishment of various courts across the country. The Supreme Court, High Courts, and District Courts that we know today were all formed during this era, each with their own distinct roles and responsibilities. This three-tiered structure provided a comprehensive system for interpreting and applying the law, ensuring a balance of power and the protection of fundamental rights. But the British influence went beyond the introduction of courts and the jury system. It also extended to the appointment of judges, with the colonial government playing a key role in this process. Today, judges are appointed by the president or governor based on recommendations from the judiciary, reflecting the independence of the judiciary that is a fundamental feature of our constitution. As India moved towards independence, so too did its judiciary system begin to evolve. The colonial influence was significant, but it was just the beginning of a journey that would see the Indian judiciary shape its own path, building on the foundations laid during the colonial period, while also incorporating Indian traditions and values. This blend of influences has resulted in a unique judicial system that is distinctly Indian, yet globally recognized for its robustness and integrity. With the dawn of independence in 1947, India set about creating a judicial system that was a reflection of its own values and traditions. It was an era of change, a time when the nation was taking its first steps towards sovereignty, and the judiciary was no exception. The Constitution of India, enacted in 1950, became the supreme law of the land. It was a document that encapsulated the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of a newly independent nation. It established the framework for the political system and defined the fundamental rights and duties of its citizens. The Constitution is the guiding light of the Indian judiciary, the beacon that illuminates the path towards justice. Within this framework, the Supreme Court emerged as the apex judicial body, with the power to interpret the Constitution and review laws. The Supreme Court was not merely a court of law, it was the custodian of the Constitution, the guardian of the nation's democratic principles. Parallel to the Supreme Court, high courts were established in each state and union territory. These courts became the primary arbiters of justice at the state level, interpreting state laws and serving as the final resort for legal disputes within their jurisdiction. At the grassroots level, the district courts were established. They are the first point of contact for the common man seeking justice, dealing with the vast majority of civil and criminal cases in the country. The district courts form the backbone of the Indian judiciary, ensuring that the wheels of justice are always in motion. One significant change that came about was the abolishment of the jury system. This was a departure from the colonial past, a move towards a system that was more in line with Indian traditions. The decision to abolish the jury system was not taken lightly. It was a conscious choice, a reflection of the country's faith in its judges. The independence era marked a significant shift in the Indian judiciary, setting the stage for the system we know today. It was a time of transformation, a period of growth, and the dawn of a new era in the history of Indian judiciary. Today, the Indian judiciary stands as a pillar of democracy, acting as the guardian of the law. A critical role indeed, as it shoulders the responsibility of interpreting and applying the law. It ensures that the principles of justice, equality, and liberty, as enshrined in the Constitution, are upheld for every citizen. In the grand architecture of the Indian democracy, the judiciary is the balancing beam. It maintains equilibrium between the executive, the legislature, and the public. This balance of power is crucial. It prevents any one entity from wielding absolute control, thereby preserving democratic principles. But how does an institution become the guardian of the law? The answer lies in the process of appointing judges. Judges to the Supreme Court and High Courts are appointed by the President or Governor. This isn't a random selection, though. The appointees are recommended by a collegium of senior judges, ensuring that only the most qualified and experienced individuals ascend to these positions of power. This process of appointment is not just about selecting individuals with legal acumen. It's also about creating a judiciary that is independent, that can make judgments without fear or favor. This independence is the backbone of the judiciary, enabling it to uphold the rule of law even when faced with pressure from other branches of government or society at large. This independence isn't just a nice-to-have feature, it's a fundamental part of the Indian Constitution. It's a safeguard, a shield that protects the judiciary from interference, allowing it to carry out its duties without bias or influence. The judiciary's independence is a fundamental feature of the Indian Constitution, a testament to the evolution of our judicial system. The Indian judiciary, as the guardian of the law, stands vigilant, ensuring that the flame of justice continues to burn bright in the world's largest democracy. As we've seen, the Indian judiciary system has a rich and varied history, shaped by colonial influences, a fight for independence, and a commitment to uphold the law. The structure of this system, with its Supreme Court, High Courts, and District Courts, is a testament to the intricate balance of power that has been meticulously maintained. It also stands as a symbol of the country's adherence to the rule of law, a principle deeply ingrained in the Indian Constitution. From its inception during the colonial era, the judiciary has evolved significantly, adapting and integrating aspects from both British colonial rule and traditional Indian customs. This unique blend gives the Indian judiciary its distinct identity. The abolishment of jury trials in the 20th century marked a significant shift in the way justice is served in India. Today, the responsibility of interpreting and applying the law rests solely with the esteemed judges appointed by the President or Governor based on recommendations from within the judiciary. Most importantly, the Indian judiciary serves as the guardian of the law, ensuring the protection of fundamental rights and maintaining a balance of power between different branches of government. Its independence, a cornerstone of the Indian Constitution, is crucial in preserving democracy and safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the people. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you found it as fascinating as we have. Until next time, namaste.